Good afternoon and welcome to today's vlog for Friday the 1st of August. Hope everybody is well and having a good day. Three little snippets I wanted to start with today. The first one was the CX. I noticed they sent an email out earlier in the week advising everybody the new app is up and running. I did trial this, I've been using it for quite a few months now. I didn't like it at the start and I must admit I left it for a while and I came back to it. And it's sort of now grown on me, and I'm fine with it. I think it's actually better. I think it's a little bit sharper, clearer. Works for me. Anyway, I just wondered how you got on. Do you think it's better, worse, or you're totally indifferent? It's just an app and doesn't really matter. Let me know in the comments, just purely out of curiosity. The second thing was Neil from Neptune Couriers posted a video along with Pete the Courier to tell us that he will no longer be doing any more videos. I just wanted to say publicly thank you to Neil for his videos in the past. They've been useful and helpful. I think he's carrying on with the business, he's just not posting videos because of the time it takes, and I fully get that. And it's like for me, I'm just going to carry on doing mine on the iPhone on the way home every day. It takes 10 minutes, it's all live, and that's how it's going to be. I'm not going to start getting into GoPros and microphones and bits and pieces. And the last thing, just to finish off Friday, our famous favourite courier, old TCS, Tommy's Courier Service. I mentioned yesterday he posted a job he'd done from north of Scotland back down to Trafalgar Square, convenient enough. £2.18 a mile I think he got for his small van. Probably something most of us would dream about, getting out of Scotland, but there we go, he continues with the hilarity. He got found out twice last week. The first one he posted, can't remember which site it was on, but he posted one of his videos where he tries to keep it secret where he's collecting from, but he gave too much away, and within minutes other couriers were jumping on his comments saying that this job that you're claiming you get £410 for 4 deliveries of motor parts, it's a Crown Courier's job, pays £180. And there was quite a few drivers came on and said that, so I take it that must be true. And also he did some posts to Europe. He did a job to Poland and back recently, which he got paid an extortionate amount of money for, and one down to Monte Carlo, which I think he actually got more than an Arctic would get for going down there. Yeah, someone obviously knows him, posted on one of the comments that you don't have an international license and you don't have a transport manager, so another pile of rubbish. And just to finish off with him, he actually posted a job today. I couldn't believe it. It appeared on my screen from Romford going to Northwest 2. Long wheelbase job, I think it's 27 miles was the job. I was nowhere near it, I was never going to get it, but I couldn't resist, so I did put a quote of £200 on it. And as I say, I didn't get it, I couldn't do it anyway, but yeah, I thought I'd play him at his own game a little bit. No doubt someone probably got that job for about £50 if they were lucky. Right, yeah, on to the day. So, yesterday evening I left you, I was on my way back to Colchester with a delivery, and I knew that was going to get off because it was someone was waiting for it at the hotel I was delivering to, so that was fine. I could go ahead and look for a job for today. There was lots of jobs going on, but not much around Colchester and the North Essex area, which started to worry me a little bit as we're into August. But I did get a job eventually, and it was a job for 8:30 this morning, long wheelbase job from Malden going to London Southwest 1. Malden is 20 miles roughly for me, 45 minutes. It's all country lanes to get there, but it's a shipper I've worked with many times, and I put my normal London price on of 125. I've explained my London pricing before, but obviously I've got a lot of people that have recently joined the vlog, so very quickly, the mileage, which was 58 miles, is £80. I charge £20 because it's a London delivery, £10 to cover any parking that might be needed because we don't know where we're going in London and it can be tricky, and then £15 for congestion charge. Now, the interesting little caveat on this, the actual delivery point was outside the congestion zone. It was Southwest 1, but Southwest 1 is split inside and outside the congestion zone. When I actually got the job and I saw where it was delivering, it was to Pimlico, which is just to the west of Vauxhall Bridge Road and on the edge of the congestion zone. So maybe technically I shouldn't be charging for it. However, because I'm coming from the east and I've got to get to the west of the congestion zone, I'm going to charge it. Now, when I come from Essex going into London, 9 times out of 10 I will come down the A13, go past Canary Wharf, through the Limehouse Link and down the highway, which brings you to the edge of the congestion zone at Tower Bridge. Now, if I want to stay out of the congestion zone, I've got to go left over Tower Bridge, all the way down to Elephant and Castle, up Kennington Lane, around Vauxhall, back over Vauxhall Bridge. Now, I think roughly that's going to take me around 40 minutes extra than going through the congestion zone. Time is money to us, so I charge that congestion charge to the shipper. They obviously have accepted it within my price, and then when I do the job, I'm going to use the congestion zone. And I think from Tower Bridge to the delivery point took me 20 minutes. It was really light today in central London, the traffic. So I was there 8:30 collection. I was there for 8. People were ready to go about 8:15. It was some furniture. I was all loaded. It had to be securely strapped down, which it was. Blankets involved, the normal caboodle. And I was away from there at 8:30. Traffic was really good. I actually arrived at the delivery point at 10:25, whereas normally I think it'd be more like 11 o'clock. But so traffic was good all the way through and all the way through London. Got unloaded straight away, and I was empty at 10:40. So I'm happy with that. Good first job. Now the CX was busy. The jobs were firing through, but to be honest, I needed a coffee, I needed a wee. Now, when I was a cab driver, there was a cafe I used to go to religiously from when I was actually doing the knowledge back in the 1990s, called the Astral, which is in Regency Place, just off Horseferry Road. I was 10 minutes away, if that. It used to be run by 2 Italian sisters, and then it got taken over by a Portuguese guy called Tony. So the Astral is known to all cab drivers as Tony's. And I had to go there. I haven't seen him for quite a while, and I used to go in there every day for breakfast and lunch, and the odd coffee and tea in the afternoon. So I went there, had a wee. There's a French, they call it a pissoir. It's an open urinal, little one way in and one way out, for men only, obviously. So I did what I needed to do in there, popped into Tony's. Tony was in there, lovely to see him. Haven't seen him for 5 years. Got myself one of his lovely coffees, and I had to treat myself to a lovely authentic Portuguese custard tart. So that was my little treat, and I had my little break. So that was around about 11 o'clock. I went back on the feed. I think it was around 11:30, to be honest. There was a few jobs within central London, sort of South West 1, West 1, that don't interest me. I find they're an absolute pain in the backside jobs. There was one job going from South West 11 to Rugby. But that was a ship I hadn't worked with before, and their payment terms were 60 days. So I was going to give that a berth. There was an EC4 to the Wirral, 212 miles for a small wheelbase. I didn't really want to go to the Wirral, not for being out at 4 or 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. So I decided I'm going to make my way out of London. So I did that. I started going east down to Parliament Square and down the embankment, and I hope to get past and out of Canary Wharf by 12:15, and I managed that. The job came up from E6 to Coventry, 103 miles. Small van, big £90, didn't get it. So I started to think it was quietening down a little bit. The jobs weren't appearing on the feed as quick as they were earlier. And I kept going. I sometimes hang around Canary Wharf, but I kept going all the way out to Dagenham and parked up there. There was a job that came up from South Ockenden to Woodbridge. That would have been nice, 76 miles for a small van. I bid 75 quid, didn't get that. I started to think it's quietening down a little bit. Then a job appeared from Basildon, going to Basildon. Small van, 3.7 miles. Now, I put a bid on that, £40, which is my real minimum. I thought it's almost taking my way home, and what can go wrong with a small van job going 3.7 miles? Anyway, the shipper I work with quite a lot, they've got branches all over. Mate rang me, said, look, we want you to do the job. We can't pay 40, we can pay 35. Now, I won't normally go with that, but to be honest, it was Friday lunchtime. I was starting to feel a little bit tired. I've had a busy week. My enthusiasm was starting to drain away a little bit. And I thought, no, do you know what? Okay, let's do it. It's a shipper I do a lot of money with. over the course of the month, and £5 isn't going to kill me, and I'll quite easily get £5 back on another job, probably next couple of days. So I agreed, £35. So I made my way. School, I did say I was going to be about half an hour, but I had time to get there. There was a bit of a schoolboy error. I forgot there was a bus on fire on the A13 this morning, and that held me up. But anyway, we got there just within the 1:30 deadline, and if you could have seen my face, it was one of horror. It was a residential house collection, and you can probably guess what's coming. Outside the house was boxes, plastic boxes, bin bags, scooters, ironing boards. It was a household residential move. Lovely young couple. I said to them straight away, I wasn't expecting this. It's really caught me on the hop. This is supposed to be a small van job. This is going to fill the whole of my large van up. They were absolutely lovely. They understood my surprise. I took a picture of everything outside the house. I did try to ring the shipper, but they were busy, and I'm not going to mess anybody about and be nasty. So I'll do the job. I said I'm going to do the job. I'll sort out my problems with the shipper later on. Anyway, it took us 25 minutes between the three of us to get it all loaded. The van was absolutely chocker. But we got it all on. I followed them to the new place, which was 3.7 miles away, and again, between the three of us, we got it off, and we got it off within 20 minutes. I'd uploaded 4 or 5 photographs to the shipper to show the van, all the goods, and I rang them once the job was finished. To be fair, they'd seen the photographs. There was obviously some communication problems somewhere within their organisation, because they'd got the job from one of their other offices, and we finally agreed. I wanted 60 quid. We finally agreed on 55. Again, I'd lost the will to live by now. It was 3:15, 3:30 on a Friday. I've just had enough. I want to call it a day and go home. So I've just done the 2 jobs today. 125, which is less than 15 really for the congestion. 110, and I've got 55 for this. 165. It's 10 below my normal target, but I've had a great week this week. Every day's been well over target, so I'm happy with that. No work the weekend. The football season is back tonight, thank God for that. Luton Town versus AFC Wimbledon. That's me in front of the telly with a Diet Coke and a packet of Monster Munch. This weekend we're in Brighton Sea. It's our music festival weekend, which is a fantastic weekend. Our local green is our stage gets put up, and we have loads of bands Saturday and Sunday. Really, really good weekend. So that's me taken care of. I will, be back on Monday. Don't have a job yet. I've rambled a bit today. Apologies, this is nearly 13 minutes, far too long. Have a great weekend all. I hope you've had a good day, and we'll talk Monday. All the best. Cheers, Paul.